Let's install our seat covers on this 2025 Toyota Tundra. Let's open them up. All right, this is our front back piece, and then our bottom piece is inside with the headrest. Let's throw them on. First thing we're gonna do here is pop this headrest off. Next, we're gonna unzip this so we can slip it on down the back of this seat. All right, slip it on down the back of the seat. It's gonna be nice and snug here, and then we're gonna put these pieces into that big crease. Next up, we're gonna zip this back zipper down the seat. Make sure it's nice and snug. All right, next up, we're gonna snap these top pieces in the top of the back part of the seat here. And once we're done with that, we're gonna tuck them in to these headrest holsters. Now we're working with the bottom of the seat here. We got the bottom piece. We're gonna shove these two buckles into that same crease of the seat there. All right, next thing we're gonna do here, these buckles are gonna go through these two pieces, so we're just gonna jam them in between the leather and the plastic part of the seat. And we're gonna do the same thing on the inside part of the seat. Now we're gonna put these two buckles into the crease of the seat here, and then these two buckles on the front of the seat will go underneath and meet those that we put through the crease. All right, in order to get to those buckles that we shoved through the crease, we're gonna have to reach under here and unflap this bottom piece of the front seat here. Pretty simple, you'll feel where it's tucked under. All right, now we have access to these two buckles and we're gonna clip them up underneath. All right, next we're gonna clip these underneath, tighten them up like so. And then when you're clipping these, just make sure they go through those two pieces on each side of the seat, the elastic part. That ensures for a nice non-slip tight fit. Next, we're gonna throw this headrest right back onto that seat here. Next, we're gonna throw the headrest cover over the headrest. Should be nice and snug. And then once that's on, you can readjust it. Make sure it fits, it'll be nice and snug for you. Next, we're gonna repeat this exact same process for the passenger side. Let's move on to the back seat. All right, we're starting here on the back seat. Gonna open it up. All right, first thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna start with the bottom piece. All right, this will be on the left side of the seat. As you can see, this Velcro will be on the inside here. We're gonna unbuckle the bottom. Slide it onto the seat. Next, we're gonna throw these through that crease again, just like the front seats. All right, next we're gonna lift up this back seat. In these Tundras, you should just be able to lift up just like this with ease. We're gonna grab these buckles through the back of the crease there, like so. And then for underneath here, to ensure that nice tight fit, we're gonna do a cross buckle. Clip those up like so. Make sure they're nice and snug. And then do the same with these. Clip them up, nice and snug, flip it on down. Next, we can just adjust this a little bit, making sure it covers the majority of the seat here. That's looking good. All right, working on the right side of the back seat here, making sure this Velcro is on the inside again. Slip that on. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna slide these buckles into that crease again. Now we're gonna flip this seat up again. This should just be the one seat that flips up on this side. Grab those buckles that we put through the crease. Again, we're gonna use that cross buckle pattern here to ensure the nice tight fit. Making sure we go with the opposite sides. Buckle those up, making sure they're nice and snug again. Flip it on down. Again, adjust, make sure everything's covered. Looking good. All right, next we're gonna show you how to put on this bottom middle piece here. All right, guys, we got our middle pieces here. Let's open these up and put them on. All right, we're gonna start with the bottom piece, just like we did on the sides. This right here is the bottom piece with the buckle. Let's get it going. All right, guys, first thing we're gonna do here is we're gonna put this buckle into this back crease, just like we did on the sides. All right, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna lay this down so it fits nice and snug. Next, we're gonna grab this bottom buckle that we slipped through and attach it to this front buckle right here. Tighten it up. All right, next we're gonna be working with this back seat back piece here. We're gonna line this up. All we're gonna do for this piece is we're gonna tuck these buckles into that same crease of the seat here, making sure that's nice and level. Next thing with this back piece, we're gonna unbuckle these and slip it around and buckle it up on the back of this headrest. Make sure that's nice and snug. All right, let's repeat the same process on the other side. All right, working on the other side here. Make sure the curve goes to the outside of the seat. We're gonna tuck these into that same crease of the seat, just like that, making sure it's nice and snug in there. And then we're gonna buckle up this around the back of this headrest, making sure again that it's nice and snug. All right, next I'm gonna show you how to do this backrest on the middle section of the seat here. Next step is this backrest middle piece. It's got Velcro. It should be facing the outside, and that will go underneath the existing outer seat cover, like so, and like so. Next, all we're gonna do is put this little disc into the crevice here so it doesn't go anywhere. All right, now we've got the headrest for this back seat. We're just gonna slip this on right down the back of this headrest, making sure it's a full surround fit. Let's do the same thing on the other side. All right, last thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put this middle headrest on.